Bordeaux from AZ Central Sports with former Arizona State offensive lineman and NFL offensive lineman. Can't leave that part out. Scott Peters, before we get into your partnership with the Phoenix Union High School District, tell me about Safe Football. You're the founder, and what you're trying to do there.
We're trying to limit concussions through a better performance with kids. So we teach kids and coaches in the Phoenix Union District, among other places, a methodology for all contact and to eliminate the use of the helmet as a tool for initiating contact, which is what's causing all these problems like CTE, concussions, and the like, and really a threat to the game of football because it's a threat to the kids. So what we do is we teach them it's a very comprehensive program, and it's elite level performance oriented. So the kids are incentivized to want to learn this in order to not really to prevent the concussions, but to be better players. And the byproduct of a better performing kid using our program is no concussions, no head contact.
Because once a player gets to the NFL, the few players that do, it's probably too late. You got to start with kids in high school, before high school, in terms of teaching proper tackling technique.
No question. It's never too late, but
you're right. Better earlier, though.
No question. Yeah. And we have NFL guys that have adopted Safe Football, too, because of the performance advantages. You'll yield a competitive advantage. And that's one thing about the NFL. The guys will do whatever gets them the best results. But it is hard because the human body, the way we're made, habits are critical. So when kids are coming out and they're learning something the wrong way or in a dangerous manner, whatever the wrong way is, it's dangerous. This is a more optimal way. It extracts the helmet. We focus on biomechanics. We focus on skill development. It's something football doesn't do. The focus of football in general has been, let's get the kids bigger, faster, stronger, sometimes fatter.
Right.
Let's get a better scheme,
and
let's out-recruit. But we're not ever really working on fundamental skills.
So how'd your partnership with the PUHSD schools come about?
We've worked with a number of school districts in town. So we still work with Chandler, Paradise Valley. There's about 10 or 12 school districts that we work with in Arizona. We train their coaches. We work with a lot of youth football as well as college and pro. The Phoenix Union District decided to step up and finally kind of pull it all together. This is the first time we've done this with a school district with a commitment of this level, because they had an all-time high concussion. They reported all-time high concussions last year. They had 26 on average per school, something like that. It was obscene. And so Dr. Munoz, the athletic director, finally came forth. He goes, we need to do something. The status quo isn't working. We care about our kids, and we want to fix this. And we said, we've had the results. And we have. Our program has, for anyone that's adopted it and truly embraced it and integrated it, the results have been very good. And from a reduction of concussion standpoint.
You said all-encompassing. What are you doing more with this district maybe than you're doing with other districts?
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're not just teaching the coaches. The coaches, we go to, usually like in Chandler District, we'll work with the coaching staff.
Right.
We do some things with the kids there as well. And Marcus Williams, the district AD there, very progressive guy, very forward-thinking. He's the one that brought us in there in the first place. This time, we're saying, hey, there's so much turnover at the coaching ranks in the Phoenix Union District. And the kids are usually, they never played before, which could be good or bad depending on what they learn. But we wanted to build a culture over 3 years. We want to really integrate this well. So we're working with the staffs, and then the staffs, their coaching staff, and our instructors for Safe Football. We come together, and they lead we lead the camp. So it's a technique instruction. So the kids get exposure to it. They get hands-on instruction, and the coaches get additional exposure.
You mentioned that a lot of the kids in the Phoenix Union High School District haven't played a lot of football before high school. They play other sports, or they just haven't played. Is it almost more important to do with this district because some of these kids haven't been taught proper tackling technique before they're being put in pads?
I got to be honest. I don't think most kids anywhere have been taught proper
anything. So, yeah.
And that's the unfortunate fact is that the access for these kids, a lot of the socioeconomics of the district, a lot of kids don't have access to much, and so that's why the district, Dr. Munoz again, had his leadership in this thing was big, because he thought these kids are going out and using football as a tool. This can be either good or bad, and we want to see kids play football, but in the right way, so they can go on and be productive citizens, etc.
I was at Betty Fairfax High with you this past Saturday morning, and you showed a video, and it's 9 o'clock on a Saturday. The kids just played the previous night. Half of them are half asleep. And I was watching their reaction, some heads drooped, but as soon as you showed some big hits from college and NFL games, there were oohs and ahs in the room. Is that the challenge to getting kids to kind of listen to the words that are important and not just react to the big hits and not just look for that big hit in the football field?
No question. Well, attention spans are at an all-time low.
Yeah, for everybody, not just high school kids.
It's everybody. Yeah. So what we want to do is, hey, look, guys, there's two things that are really critical here. They can hear us out about concussions if they want. We're there to show them a better method and show them with real footage of NFL players doing this stuff that we teach. They can get their heads wrapped around that, because they're the best guys in the league doing this. It's the best guys. And then they have to feel it. That's the number two. And a lot of times, one of the biggest issues causing concussions is coaches that are participating from an armchair with a whistle. They're blowing whistles at kids from a chair, as opposed to saying, hey, here's how you do it. Let's get hands-on. And that's something that we do directly, because all of our guys are former NFL guys. They're great guys. They understand the problem. They understand the requirements at the highest level of the game, and they can convey that to the kids, or the kids open up to us. And because we understand, we want to help these kids out.
Right.
And the kids can see it for themselves and then understand, hey, it's not just that guy J.J. Watt doing it. It's you can do it too. Even though you're smaller, it's about mechanics. And that's what it's about.
Is it really important to teach at this age? Because these kids watch college games on Saturdays and NFL games on Sundays, and they see, even though with everything we know about concussions, they still see players leading with their heads, leading with their helmets, leading with their shoulders, and that's who they emulate. So
Exactly.
it's really important to get to them now.
Totally important to get to them now. And that's the issue too, Scott, is because when you look at college, when I got to the NFL, at that point in time, I'd already gone through college at ASU. I'd gone through my high school years, and we were emulating the NFL guys.
Right.
That's what we all do.
Yep.
The problem with that is, where do kids go for development? Because the NFL is not a developmental league. It's a business. It's an entertainment business. At that, you audition. The biggest, strongest freaks come together. They collide. Somebody makes a team, someone doesn't. If you make it long enough, you can adapt on the job. But that adaptation yields some of the results we're getting, because at the end of the day, the best players are using their hands at the NFL level, but that didn't come by virtue of instruction. That came by virtue of adaptation at a cost to the brain. So what we're trying to do is extract that information, provide that for the kids at the youth level, show them that it's not, everybody likes to watch a big hit, right? You can still have a big hit with your shoulder, but where you're hitting a guy in the head, I mean, the fact is that that's not only damaging to that guy, but it's really damaging to you.
Sure.
So it's we're trying to educate the kids on the importance of it. Your brain is really the most, practical and best use for your brain is to think.
Yeah, not yet.
Not to hit someone with. So we have, we harp on that a lot, but we show them how they're stronger. The postures are stronger with the hands. And we don't just, tackling is a piece of our program, but the majority of our information that we're conveying is about pre-tackle contact. And that's not something we're hearing
Body
enough
posture
about.
and
But if you think about it, now I played offensive line in the NFL, and I made one tackle in my 7-year NFL career.
Interception or fumble?
Interception,
Okay.
And it wasn't a form tackle by any means. I didn't get a concussion, but I've had numerous concussions, as have anyone that played the game at a high level for long enough. And so my point is that every play, you still watch the NFL, guys are still hitting their faces, hitting heads. The coaches will say, hat then hands, hit your head, then your hands, then your hips, right? Well, that's obviously dangerous, and it's actually, we're taking out that part about the head, because that's actually not going to help you perform any better. But we know it's damaging. Everybody that plays the game is going to engage in pre-contact helmet contact, pre-tackle helmet contact, and that's known to cause CTE and other things. So we're trying to limit the exposure to those hits through a better methodology. And that can't just be done by a clinic, and it can't be done by a camp. It has to be a commitment, an ongoing training for the coaches and the kids.
I'm sure this is great for the Phoenix Union High School District. Great work Scott Peters is doing. Scott, thank you.
Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.
Scott Bordeaux from AZ Central Sports.